This is a quick demonstration of free image editing software called Irfanview. You'll likely hear people saying Irfanview, but it's actually Irfanview, as the author is Irfanview. The three most common actions I hear genealogists requesting is straightening of images, cropping of images, and possibly adding some highlight to scans of documentary evidence. I'm going to walk through these three actions and possibly a fourth. That's not going to take very long because I know Irfanview is very quick and easy to perform those actions. In fact, I find it quicker than using Photoshop. I have a few incidental videos planned that I want to get published, mainly to help address some of the frequently asked questions on forums and Facebook user groups. Remember to hit subscribe and click the bell if you want to get notifications of future videos. And don't worry, you're not going to be bombarded with weekly emails. I don't work that quickly. I'm not a trained genealogist. I'm a pragmatic genealogist. I use what works best for me and I share those ideas for you. You can then form your own ideas as to how to go forward. What I do is I continue to adapt as software develops. If something new comes out and it works well for me, I'm going to share how I'm using it with you. So the first thing is to get Irfanview onto your computer. Let's get started. This is the home page of Irfanview. irfanview.com. You can see the download links here almost in the center of the page. You simply download either the 32 or the 64-bit version depending on what suits your computer. Irfanview is offered free, but you can also see there's a donate support button here. So if you find it useful, then do give the author some support. Once you've downloaded it, click the installation file from your downloads folder. I just went through all of these options accepting the defaults. This is not a tutorial on how to install software. Here's the download page if you do need extra information about the process. And here we are in Irfanview. I scrolled through my images looking for one that's a little crooked and a good example for this demonstration, and I settled on this one. You can open the file in the traditional way by going to the File dialog and selecting Open. Personally, I like to navigate from the file itself, and here it is in my demonstration file. Right-click on the thumbnail or file and select Open With. If you don't see Irfanview here, then select Choose Another App, go down through the list and find and select it. You then have two choices, one being Always, in which case Irfanview will be associated and become the default program for that file type. Alternatively, just click the Once button. That choice is yours. Well, here's the demonstration file opened in Irfanview. The first action I'm going to perform is to straighten this image. I'm also going to point out keyboard shortcuts where they exist. So firstly, select Edit and Show Paint dialog. That can also be invoked by hitting F12 and you get this little dialog popping up. The arrow top left is a selection tool and I'll be using that mostly later in this demonstration. In this case I want the straightening tool. It's this little icon which looks like a box and some lines on the corner. Once selected, I just need to pick a straight line on this image. I'm going to choose one of these top header lines. I left click the mouse on the extreme left of this line, hold down the mouse while I drag it to the right hand side of the line. You can see the line faintly in the background, especially if I move about. Lined up and happy, I just release the mouse button and as if by magic the image is now straight. At this point you still have the straightening tool active, so click on the selection tool which looks like a little arrow. Leaving the Paint dialog tool open helps you easily see which tool you have selected. You can hide the Paint dialog again by pressing F12 if you wish. The next action I'm going to perform is to crop this image. Simply drag a box around the area you want to keep. Personally, I don't want this additional information to the right of the image, I just want to crop the main image. It goes without saying the crop selection needs to be large enough, but once made it can be moved about and fine-tuned by using the keyboard arrow keys. If I'm not happy with the selection, I simply draw the selection again. To make the crop, either use Ctrl+Y or select Edit on the menu followed by Crop Selection, and that's the image cropped. I want to quickly combine these two actions on this less than ideal photograph of a headstone or grave marker, just to show you how quickly correction can be made. I'm going to use the straighten tool Draw a line down through the centre of the image, then use the selection tool, make a crop selection, and we'll see how quickly that can be done. Straightening tool, line through the image, selection tool, make a crop selection, Control Y. That took much less than 20 seconds, so very quick and useful. The next action I said I would perform is to apply some highlighting of detail. The family I'm interested in is this last one on the page, the family of David and Lydia Eggleton. Rather than always reading through the document, I want to highlight the detail of interest so it immediately stands out. Documentary images are generally sources, and I'll be showing you how to attach that to a source citation once I produce the auto-sourcing video. Simply drag another selection box around the detail you want to highlight. This time select Edit from the menu and insert Overlay. There's no shortcut key for this tool. I get this dialog and there's a lot of things in here you can change. I'm leaving it on what I believe are the default settings. The highlight colour is yellow. The transparency below that is 80%. I find those work quite well. I click OK and there's my highlight. You're not restricted to one area of highlight. You could continue to draw several selections and therefore add several overlays. Those could be words or just areas of interest. You could even apply different colours. I'm going to show you one other possibility, and that's to add text to an image. I already have the essence of this file data in the file name, as you will have seen if you had watched this video. However, if you want to further add text or notes to an image file, then this is the method to use. Select Edit from the menu, followed by Insert Text, or use the keyboard shortcut Ctrl-T. Again, there's a lot of things here that you can change, which I won't go into. You can experiment yourself when you become more confident. I've already entered the text I want applied in this box. What I do want to change is the text colour, the font and text size. Red for the text, 28 for the font size. Oh, the text has appeared top left of our previous highlight selection. Well, that was the last selection point that we had highlighted, so cancel that and then click on the image where you want the text to appear. That's 4 very quick and beneficial actions using the Irfanview. All you need to do now is save this image, and in my case I would be wanting to overwrite the original image and use the same file name, as I don't want duplication on my hard drive which later becomes confusing. I can click the little disk icon here, or I can save from the file menu. The disk icon gives you Save As by default, but you can still overwrite the original file with the new version. The menu option gives you both save options. You'll get a little dialog warning that you're about to overwrite a file. If that's your intention, then just click Yes. One quick final mention, the keyboard letter L will rotate your image left 90 degrees at a time. Keyboard letter R will do the same in the opposite direction, left and right. That's quick and important, as I often read on various genealogy software help forums of images not displaying with the correct orientation. If you have that problem on an image, then open it in Irfanview, correct it and save it again, overwriting the original file. The keyboard letters H and V quickly perform horizontal and vertical flipping of images, but I don't see those actions being terribly useful to genealogists. I hope that was helpful. If you want to get notifications of future videos, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button followed by the bell. And a thumbs up would be appreciated also. And also don't forget you can share this video freely on any user group, any Facebook group or any friends. Spread the word. Don't forget to check out these videos on the left. I've added the one about file naming. You don't have to use my system, but it may help you think about a system that's going to serve you well into the future. The second video I've added there is about metadata, and that shows the advantages of adding the file metadata and then importing into Family Historian where the metadata gets transferred across. Anyway, hope to see you in the next one. In the meantime, take care.